Hello there. Hi there. I have problems with the camera, but otherwise it's it's there, okay? I'm sorry. It's really weird. Anyways, talking today about Castlevania III Dracula's Curse. I did it today on Friday, and I might start doing it Fridays more often. Um I'm looking at work and it's going to be a different job where I don't work at nighttime. I'm getting older for this stuff. All right? Just letting everyone here in the audience know. Yeah. So should be pretty good. And I'll see how this is. I'll even put this in the I'll put this as a little thing here. There we go. So there it is. We're going to go through some game news. So Metal Gear Master Collection or Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 is coming out. So now we have Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and it's now there. This is the fan work, but it's true that they have Metal Gear Master Collection Volume 2 coming out, meaning that all these games that were previously PS3 or PS4 only aren't so exclusive anymore. I don't have my usual guests here, but should be pretty good. Pretty good for today. So, gonna go. This might not be as long. Here we go. Here we are. Resident Evil Requiem. So yeah, there are some YouTubers going over this. It's a new launch. I haven't exactly followed Resident Evil. I think I'll play Resident Evil 2 pretty soon because I have a version of the game, Resident Evil. July and Switch 2 at the same time. Okay. That looks like the person, well, CGI face, whatever. I'm not going to go into some crazy assumption that the person's AI. July 30th, 2026. So these are the figures. Oh, so this is for the figures for Resident Evil 9 they're releasing. What is it? Leon Kennedy and Grace. Okay. All right. Now let's look at a few other ones. Pokemon Generation 10 starters. Okay. Here we have it. Pokemon Generation starters. Pokemon officially Wind and Waves. And also they have Pokemon Legos. So this is about it. The other thing that I'm going to say is that Paramount gets Warner Brothers. That's the other one. 111 billion. So Netflix dropped out of the bid, and now Netflix has dropped it all on Paramount. So good luck, Paramount. They have plenty of debt of their own, and WB or Warner Brothers is in a lot of debt. They have been since 2011, so for more than a decade. That's how it is. Okay. Wow. So this has been going on for a long time, and I guess it's finally Paramount. So that's it. Yeah. So that's about our gaming news for the day. We're going to be talking today about Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse. This game was a favorite of a lot of people, including Koji Igarashi, that later got into producing Castlevania games. It had 3 releases: December 22nd, 1989 for Japan, North America, or Canada and the USA in September 19th, 1990. Europe was May 1992. They don't have a specific date. And they're so what made Castlevania 3 so special? You have different paths. So if in a level, and I'll show you on the gameplay demonstration that there is a diverging path in the level in some stages of the game. And you have the optional companions. So you have Grant Danasty, Sypha Belnades, and Alucard, the son of Dracula. I'm going to actually show you something. This is a commercial you would actually see for Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, if you're in North America. So I'm going to share this old retro trailer for the game.
Evil stalks you once again in Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse for Nintendo. But you possess the gift of transformation and become the vengeful ancient ghost pirate, or the son of Dracula who defies his father's fiends, or the mystic warlord with a cloak of magical powers. It's never the same adventure in the 17 worlds of terror of Dracula's Curse. Enter the Dracula's Curse sweepstakes today.
Yeah. So back in, it was almost 1990, they ran that commercial, which is pretty cool. Very cool. And there was also manga. So what was the official path that Konami called canon? You have further information on the official assumed plot of Castlevania 3 in the spin-off mangas. They did Castlevania Curse of Darkness. In Castlevania Curse of Darkness, the manga, they say specifically that it was all 3 companions as part of Trevor's party, and they named all of them. And you can actually find these manga on Amazon, but what I feel should happen. Oh, wait, my camera actually finally work. Yes, it works now, finally. So what you would likely happen, and I'm just finally, is that I hope if there's a Castlevania 3D collection, that what they do is they include digital or even physical versions of the mangas that are that go along with Castlevania Curse of Darkness as a 3D game, and add them with the collection that you get. So you get the 3D games on one side, then you get the manga as a supplemental, digital or physical, for the game. And welcome to you who are in the comment section. This is the live stream where I'm talking about Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. There's a Q&A of whether you think me live stream on Friday is better. It's what I'm beginning to consider to do. So take a look at that. Take a look at the poll in the actual comments or live chat. So go to live chat and take a look at the little comments and see, hey, what do you want to say on the poll? Okay. I see there's a vote for Castlevania 64. Yeah. On Fridays. So there's the chat, and yeah, I'll think about it. I'll see what the other people have to see in the chat. Chaos. Thank you. All right. Now there's companions. You have Grant Dynasty, Pirate on the Lake, not included in the anime Netflix adaptation. Some people are disappointed about this. I'm one of them. He's supposedly inspired by the real life Dineshti family in Wallachia. So that's Grant. Alucard, son of Dracula, human but turned vampiric by his father's bite. So they get this is complicated and it's hard to explain, but originally he's just a vampire. Originally Alucard's just a vampire. They retcon that in Symphony of the Night, but they say he's a Dompier. No, he wasn't a Dompier in Castlevania 3. They retconned it in in Symphony of the Night. And that's part of what I have shown for my greatest plot twist in Castlevania, because that was something that changed from what was originally in Castlevania 3. Sypha Belnades, parents killed by a mob, raised by the Holy Order to use her magic abilities to kill monsters. So yeah, she's a hunter of monsters for the church. And of course, as we go back to the this,
once again in Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
They don't exactly tell you that Sypha was a woman. It's kept as somewhat of a secret in the game until the end. So they keep it as, if you play with her as a companion, as you play with Sypha as a companion, they reveal it to you at the end. They show you her long hair, that it's actually Sypha is actually a she. So it's very different the way it was originally, and you can even get. I'm going to show you in the audience here. You can even get better versions of the game manuals at Castlevania Crypt. Castlevania Crypt. So Castlevania Crypt, Castlevania Games. And I'm gonna actually share it with you. So I'm gonna actually share the web page with you and show you how to find Castlevania Crypt. There it is, Castlevania Crypt. So you go look at the Castlevania games. No, I don't like this ad. So here you have it. You have them in order of release. So you go to Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3. So with the early NES games, we got the worse. They had the lower quality version of the manuals for these games. instruction manuals. Japanese instruction manual. Let's do this. Over 40 pages. Let's look. 42 pages. Now let's look at the one you'd get if you were not in Japan. Only 23. Let's see what it says. Yeah, just basic directions. That's it. That is it. Son of Dracula. Yeah, so he's not a Dompier here. They retconned it. This is English. Now let's try let's do a comparison here. Let's go back to try the Japanese manual again. Going page by page. See, look. It's got artwork in here. They even have a story. Come on. We got ripped off. We got the North American version. So they're giving you the whole story in Japanese leading up to what happened in Dracula's Curse. This is the same thing that happened with the first Castlevania. It's happening again. Let's go back. Let's just go back. Let's try this again. Let's go to the next page. Now we're at the directions, but still, they have more. Like, let's try this again. This is ridiculous. Like, really ridiculous. Like, look. Yeah, Chaos, they did. They had like the plot, the story written in this. And now I don't blame anyone because if you were, getting the English version of it, it's very basic, but still, they have all this extra artwork in this Japanese manual. The whole page for Alucard, whole page for Grant. Oh, come on. Oh, I just did the same page again. Whole page for Sypha, right there. Like, really? A whole guide to items. So this is all Sypha's items right here. I mean, I could go on and on, but this is another case where in Japanese you got the better deal when it comes to the game manuals. I like some of these old game manuals, by the way. I like the old Warcraft game manuals. I like some of the Command and Conquer game manuals, but here you actually had something that was more complete, literally, about your companions, about the story, about everything for the game. The Japanese manual was the better deal. And there's also Famicom in Japan as well. So, yes, Chaos, we got the better version in Japanese for all these NES games. All of them. Now, here's the thing. They had new audio technology. Now, for some reason, so much of a tech geek, I can understand, but Hinori Mazawa was the main audio programmer of the game. So up top, you have the Famicom hardware, and below it, you have the Nintendo hardware. Now, Nintendo hardware, or at NES, let's just say it that way. This is the NES, and the Famicom had a better bit rate right here. Nintendo or NES could read faster because it is solid state. So the solid state nature of the NES cartridges allowed for a quicker data read, but overall more data could be held on the Famicom floppy disks. So this is the lowest selling Castlevania game for Famicom and NES. And after this, I'm going to show you some gameplay footage. And then I'll finish up. But this is it. Lowest selling Castlevania for the Famicom and NES, but it was an okay seller at 850,000. Yeah, I mean you have games like GTA 5 that sell so many millions of units, or Minecraft that sells so many millions, but you have to realize these are the top selling games of all time. For this, it's, there's a lot of ones at the time that don't quite make it to that level. All right. But a few million is good. It just depends on what your cost is, how much you spent to recoup in the development process. And that's just about it. Well, advertising as well, but it's about recouping the costs you spent in terms of developing the game, publishing it, and advertising it. But Castlevania 3 has had multiple re-releases, including a release on Windows in 2002, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo 3DS, Virtual NES console on the Switch, and Switch 2 online stores. Castlevania 3 was also released as part of the Castlevania Anniversary Collection for PC, Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation in 2019. So with this part gone, we're going to actually go watch the long play. And this one is actually made by me. Yeah, this is an old introduction of mine. A very old introduction I made. Yeah, I cut a bit off the sides. But this is the one I actually made. So yeah, you start this with a nice tune, and you start as Trevor, and you can eventually find other companions potentially, or you can leave them and just play solo as Trevor the whole way. It's all your choice. This is the case of these diverging paths in Castlevania. It was a first for that. Right, let's take a look. Check the pulse, other things. Let's see. Okay, so what happens, Chaos, is you have these points in the game where you can choose to take one path or another in terms of which stage you're going to go to next. And it's by those optional multiple choice parts of the game that you can choose your companions from. Yeah, jumping over Medusas. I'm glad I'm not talking while I'm actually playing the game, because I'd be so distracted doing that. But yeah, Chaos, that's how it works. And you'll see it soon in this one, where certain levels are like, you want to take this stage next or this one. So if you go in through the clock tower, that's how you find Grant. Going through the swamp, that's how you find Alucard, which is what this playthrough is for, is unlocking Alucard. And there's another one where you can choose one or the other, and that's how you get Sypha. So, you have those three. Now, as I mentioned before, they reveal at the end, if you had Sypha as your companion, then it's a woman. Otherwise, they imply it's a man, even in the advertising. That's how, pretty much how it works. Yeah. Now here's the first one, the Skeleton Knight. He's easy if you know how to use solid water. No, I didn't take the stopwatch because I just was better. As I saw right there, holy water, spam holy water and kill the guy easily. That's one of the things with these old Castlevania games. Is you can just literally spam holy water if the enemy's touching the ground and you'll kill them off really fast. That's a feature of these games. So yeah, that's why I didn't take the stopwatch. But to be fair, the stopwatch is an alternate way you can beat a lot of enemies really easily. I'm gonna actually go looking. So this is where the path splits. Let's take a look. Here you go. So I'm going to pause here. This is where you take the upper path into the clock tower, or you can take the downward path through the swamp, and the swamp is where you find Alucard, the upper one, or clock tower is where you find Grant. And then you choose to either take them with you after you beat their boss battle, or you just leave them. Once you take them with you, you can you can change between playing as Trevor and playing as your companion. So this is something that was way before, say, Portrait of Ruin, where you can change between different characters. But it'd be cool if they had a new version of Dracula's Curse where you could do multiplayer co-op, but that's not how this game works. But you could do multiplayer co-op in Portrait of Ruin. You'd have two Nintendo DS's, and then you actually just take the two Nintendo DS's and you connect it over the Wi-Fi between the different players. Giant bat. So don't let yourself sink in the mud, but Alucard's coming soon. This is Alucard as the boss. It looks a lot like Dracula, but not quite. And notice how he looks like Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and not, the way you see him in the Netflix series or Symphony of the Night. They retconned how he appeared too. Good job, Trevor, using that cross. Now you're going to make the choice. Do you let him join you or not? Look at the pole. So there you are. Alucard's joined you. There you go. Yeah. You can change to Alucard if you want to be able to fly. And Alucard shoots fireballs. Well, yeah, I'm biased towards myself. And ha ha, along with you. But there's parts we have on the Alucard path where you choose to play as Alucard where you can actually fly and shoot bats. It's pretty cool. Red Skeleton, the better run before he comes back to life. But Alucard can fly as a bat and shoots fireballs, like shotgun fireballs, I'll call them. Oh yeah, those spiky things that travel along the floor, like you got in Super Castlevania 4. Now, what's funny is Super Castlevania 4 is not a sequel to this. It's a remake of the first Castlevania, but I liked it how it has more monsters than as an SNES game. How it has a bigger bestiary or monsters than the original 1986 Castlevania does. Another skeleton knight. Oh no. Well, actually, it's more than one. He throws bones at you too. But this is about the end here for me. It's somewhat short. But yeah. So this is coming up later. We previously had Legend of Zelda Anniversary. And we're going to be talking about films in which the director's cut is an improvement on Thursday. And then Thursday after that, in the month of March, for both of these upcoming games and film reviews, it should be pretty good. We'll talk about more than Castlevania, even though it is the 40th anniversary, but we had a little celebration of the 40th anniversary. So I just want to say, hey, thank you for stopping by. And I'll see you next week, Thursday, in spite of the delay I had for reasons this week. Same time. 11, same channel.